So here we've got the BBFC title card, which we created to be in keeping with the conventions, as if it was a real film here, like you'd see it in the cinema before a film starts. And this is the ident, which we put in for similar reasons to the title card. We managed to download the footage for it off YouTube as well as the audio, and then we just edited it in Premiere. It was quite easy to do. And here we've got this establishing shot, which shows the South Bank area of London, and it shows London's main landmark, so it was recognisable as the city, and it shows what a big place London is, and it shows and suggests the different neighbourhoods that London has, and that it can be a massive criminal playground. So this is the first part of the action match shot, where Ray Carter's hand is shown on the door, and it creates an enigma as to where he's going. And this shot of his feet walking through the door starts to reveal his office, and this also shows his powerful character, which is a cliche way of showing this. The sequence of tight frames engages the audience and allows a narrative hook. So now we move on to the panning shot of his desk, and it reveals more of his character, and the whiskey shows his dominance, status, power and age, which meets the audience expectations. And also there's a visual cue of MI5 on his laptop, which suggests that he may be working for a bigger organisation and he is not the top man. And here we see a repeated sequence of close frames, so you don't actually get to see his face, which keeps the enigma surrounding his character. And when we go to the over-the-shoulder shot, it allows us to see more of his face, but his identity still isn't completely revealed. And also here, as the camera expands, we see part of his hair, which is slightly grey, so it makes us realise that he's a slightly older character. And the focus of the camera draws our attention to the phone. And then we move into a close-up shot, which shows a JMAT, which is code for Matthew Jensen, and the dots between the letters in keeping with the MI5, style on the laptop. And the iPhone used also links in with the youth demographic of our target audience, as this would appeal to them as they are avid users of digital technology. So now we move on to our title, which is Focus 4 Productions. I made this in After Effects, and it uses motion tracking and keyframing in order to create a fluent wipe, where the letters are wiped onto the screen and off the screen. And we plan to use this in several more times throughout the opening of our film.
So at this part of the scene, the camera has come out a little further, and he has revealed a bit more of Ray Carter's identity. This makes the audience stand on edge as they almost see the character's full identity. By not addressing Matthew Jensen, by his name, it suggests a depersonalised relationship between Carter and the both of them, as they're in a work-based relationship only. Jensen is only an assassin for Carter, reinforced by a lack of facial expression. As Jensen has more of a fashionable suit, it creates a positive representation of youth, which the target audience would relate to. We found this from our primary research into the Bond and Bourne franchise, whereas Carter wears a more traditional suit associated with older men. The over-the-shoulder shot still hides his identity and creates a coding. Alright, so the incoming shot of the tube. Tube shows that it changed location, how his pace started to pick up. In terms of editing, the music also picks up in terms of pace, which builds tension and adrenaline. The next shot shows Matthew entering the tube and travelling towards Emma Wolf, the character. So Jensen's blank facial expression shows that he's motionless and serious. It shows that he is in the zone for the mission. The shot shows his intent.
The representation of the tube shows that it's real and gritty, and the shot of Jensen sitting on the tube, so he's excluded from other people and that he's isolated, He's also in the very centre of the shot, which draws the audience's attention towards him and shows that he's isolated because no one's sitting near him. This is a montage of the Tube and Jensen travelling towards Wolf. The music is also creating suspense and building up to the meeting of the two characters. Jensen standing up with a low angle shows that he is in charge and has a higher status, as the camera is positioned at a lower angle, so the audience is also positioned there. The focus of the metal bar shows a more cinematic shot, which is highly effective for our genre. Emma Wolf's character is first introduced with a close frame, yet her identity is still hidden, which creates enigma coding. The audience can identify that she is young, well-groomed feminine. She is doing something that is very conventional, as she is drinking coffee from Starbucks, yet the audience still wants to find out more about her. It also shows that she is unaware of what is around the corner.
So the close-up of Jensen's feet shows that he's travelling towards Emma, which then goes on to a shot of Emma Wolf's shoes. This shows the contrast between the two characters and starts to link and create a relationship between them. The shot is also very cinematic, as the focus is on the shoes, as well as the textured background. Red is a sexualised colour and can also signify strength, boldness and being fierce, as well as sexy. This shot is very much like a male gaze shot, as you see most of her legs. The graffiti on the wall shows that this is an urban setting and really helps a mise-en-scène of the underworld which we are trying to create. But you still can't see her face as her hair is covering, which is again enigma coding. The close-up shot of Jensen was when he was waiting, so you know that he's waiting for something and she's not aware of it. In the long shot you can start to see her face, but you still can't see her completely as she's too far away. As soon as she stops, you know there's a problem though, and the extreme close-up of the film of the face shows his emotions and shock enigma coding.